All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Let's just give everybody a little minute here just to kind of get those last minute stragglers going. Today on the webinar, you have me. My name is Brian, Dr. McClelland. I'm an oral and maxillofacial surgeon, and I have a practice in Liberty Lake. Well, it's in Spokane Valley, Washington. I live in Liberty Lake, and then one on Post Falls, Idaho, which is just over the border. With me are Rafael and Mauricio Sanchez, and today we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So the goal for today is to talk about things that you can do to kind of fight back against this whole COVID-19. We've been kind of pushed around and really had our lives disrupted by this thing, and all three of us really wish you guys the best. Anybody that's been really devastated by this, our heart and our sympathies go out to you. It's been a tough time, but we're looking at now re-entering and kind of getting back in and offering our services to our patients, and getting on the other side of just emergency surgeries and getting more into elective surgeries. So with that in mind, we have to come out different. We have to come out different than what we were before. And we want to not only survive this time, but we want to thrive in this time. So we need to reinvent ourselves. We need to stay compliant. We're innovating, and we're opening up new income streams and just trying to be super smart and super proactive about this thing, this COVID thing. I am a big believer that life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. I want to quote Tony Robbins on that one. I really like it. I like the concept. I love the idea that we're not just victims of a big cosmic, experiment, that things are happening for us and that we're to learn things and kind of grow and innovate and move forward and get better and better and better at who we are as people, which includes everything and particularly practice. So go to the next slide. Remember, you can submit your questions, so just feel free at any point. If you have questions, go ahead and do that. So now, tele-dentistry. I don't know if you guys have tried this or not. There is really nothing out there that I was able to find in terms of tele-dentistry, stuff that's for us. It's all just kind of generic. Quite frankly, it's all kind of not so good. I understand that this is not necessarily a panacea, and there's a lot of resistance to this. So let's go to the next slide. This is the stuff that I was thinking. I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't want to do this, man. It's just like another thing. I actually made a list of all the reasons why I don't want to do this. Let's go to this slide. So, it's just another thing to learn, right? It's just another monthly expense that I need to do to fund to make this thing or to go, use it. Maybe I'm not building rapport, and it's an impersonal experience for my patients. It's technology, and technology can be sensitive. It can break down. It's just another hassle. I can't do a physical exam. I can't really touch and feel the patient. I might not have an x-ray available at the time of the consult. Patients can't navigate the app. Not everybody is tech friendly. So how do we get through that? I have to buy tablets, manage this hardware, change things, charge them at night. Man, I actually had someone break into my office and steal 6 tablets. Fortunately, these guys had already thought of all the data protection. Nothing happened because we had already thought of that. It was taken care of. But dang, I bought tablets and then more tablets and then tablets again. Tired of buying tablets. By the way, when you listen to these guys when they tell you what kind of tablets to buy. I did the Samsung, fantastic. Then I got tired. I bought the off-brand. Don't buy the off-brand. I got to buy more tablets again. So I'm comfortable in the way that I'd always done it and the way I do it, in the past. Maybe my staff won't take this on and they're going to resist. Or I've had efforts and initiatives that have just been sabotaged. They just weren't good ideas. Staff said, no, we're not doing it. Call center, man, the front desk, they already have too much to do. How are we going to work this? So, man, I had a long list of reasons that were really easy to come by. But we went for it and we did it. And let me tell you about the experience. So first of all, it's got to be HIPAA compliant. It's got to be secure. It's got to be patient friendly. It's got to be office friendly. We wanted to be able to get health histories. We want informed consent videos when appropriate. We want to be able to have financial and HIPAA policies and different statements available. And everything is based on a AAAHC, so the American Association of Ambulatory Healthcare Compliance. So my office is a certified ambulatory surgical center. And I'm actually dumb enough or maybe crazy enough to pay people to come in and torture me and make sure that I'm at this certain level. So all of our forms, all of our documentation is at a national standard that fits accreditation. So all of the health history forms, all the stuff that you see on here kind of fits that. So it's of that kind of quality, and it needed to be in order for me to be able to use it. Let's go to the next slide. Patients' benefits, it's safe, it's convenient. There's no consult trip. Patients don't have to drive here for their consult. We don't have that question of like, hey, I thought I was going to get my surgery today. They get intuitively that they're not getting their surgery today because they're in their living room. We can collect patients can collect their names and their medicines. They can get their surgical history down on paper very accurately, their allergies accurately, and really just have a more accurate health history. They get to visually see the provider. They get to see me. They get to see the team through a secure HIPAA-compliant video portal. Don't use Zoom. The FBI has explicitly come out and said Zoom is not acceptable. It is not HIPAA compliant. It's being hacked. Also, in the world of COVID-19, patients love the idea of not having to come in to crowded waiting rooms. They can stay home. They don't have to make a trip. And it eliminates that unnecessary travel time. I don't have a big travel time in my area, but if you live in a big city, this is going to be huge for patients. If they're rural, they're on the other side of town, you know how that goes. Maybe you can expand your referral base. Staff benefits, financial staff, if you can go back one. Financial staff gets a picture of dental and medical insurance cards. So they can actually see those cards, and patients take a picture of them when it's appropriate, when they have them, and can send them securely. So financial can actually work things up and have very accurate data ahead of time. Can you go back one more? Go forward two. So pass the patient and then go back one from here. There we go. Thank you. Leave it here for a second. All right. So financial staff has the information. You don't need to clean rooms between visits. There's less pressure on the clinic and team members. Front desk doesn't have angry patients who have to wait along. We can complete almost all of our normal in-person tasks with some minor exceptions. It makes the first treatment visit really smooth as normal and has been excellent. All right. Another good friend of mine has like a great resource, CDC, infection control, excellent link. Thank you, Dr. Jacob. Appreciate that. How many hours would I feel safe using the KN95 masks and the paper bag storage system? So if your mask gets visibly contaminated, certainly you're going to discard it. I think if you use them for maybe 4 or 5, half days or clinic days, I think that's reasonable. I haven't seen any firm guidelines on that, so it's just a judgment call. If it's, certainly if it's visibly contaminated or gets wet or moist, it's time for it to go. Having that second mask over top is going to help prolong that. But it, really it's a judgment call at this point. For me, I'm using it for a month and then discarding them. So basically 4 clinic days, Mondays, basically. So I hope that answers that question. All right. Yes. And UV and HEPA points or filters, within your filtration system, Dr. Jacob, again, it's another good point. All right, let's go to the next slide. Oh no, you already went to the next slide. Thank you. Okay, so doctor benefits. I was worried about rapport. We actually have a survey built into this app so that your patient will automatically get a survey, and you're going to get a feedback from your patients on how much they like or dislike this. We've had a pretty much universal acceptance of this thing. I keep asking people, they're probably annoyed with me, but I keep asking, do you like this? What do you think? And it's been overwhelmingly a positive response. I can accomplish my primary goals almost always. There's been a couple of exceptions where I'm like, here's what I think, but I really need to see you to kind of move forward. It definitely increases your clinical efficiency. I'm going to go with 15%, but I think it's actually more. You can go home earlier if you want. You can be more productive. It's your choice what you want to do at that time. You don't need to be in clinic to actually see a consult. So for all you like type A OCD people out there, you can be on vacay and doing a virtual consult, still being productive. Don't tell your wives. All right. Or your husbands, depending. Keep moving forward. I know for me, I'd have to hide in the bathroom to do that virtual consult, or my wife would not be happy. I'd be like in trouble. Financial benefits. So I think this is going to be huge. I am changing my schedule so that in every afternoon, so I do surgeries in the morning and I do consults in the afternoon. I am now extending my surgical day by 1 hour. So I will do surgery from 7:30 in the morning till 12:30 in the afternoon. Take my lunch now from 12:30 to 1:30 instead of 11:30 to 12:30. So I basically have an hour more surgical time. I will have the same number of consults scheduled, and I'm not working later. So if my wife's watching this, I'm not working later. But I can do the same number of consults with less stress. And 8 of the 12 consults that I have in the afternoon are going to be virtual consults. Only 4 will be live consults. Those can be switched into virtual consults if people don't want to come in live, but no more than 4. And so patients will have a choice. They'll have a choice that if I'm booked tomorrow on all of my in-person consults, they're welcome to pick the next day or the next day, or take a virtual consult. Right now is an opportunity, man. This is like the yin and the yang. This is the crisis and opportunity in that Chinese symbol of the yin and the yang. You know, that symbol, one of the symbols means crisis, one of them means opportunity. So in every crisis comes opportunity, and this is our opportunity, and quite frankly, patients' opportunity, to be forced to do virtual consults where normally they would kick back and it would be a mess. But in the context of COVID-19, the rationale is there. You can push a little bit back and get this done. Go to the next slide for me. If this allows me to do 3 more sets of wisdom teeth, I schedule 20 minutes for a set of wisdom teeth for my time. I did some quick math. If I do 3 sets of wisdom teeth, and that's roughly $2,500 a day, or a case, that's $7,500 a day. You keep doing the math, that's $30,000 a week, $120,000 a month. That's $1.3 million more in collections as a possibility. Also, keep in mind, guys, that if you've already escaped gravitational pull, in other words, all your fixed expenses are covered, this, you know, your variable expenses on this are pretty minimal, maybe 20%. I mean, if it's 20%, you're looking at a significant difference in your overall take-home pay with this. You know, the next slide. So what if you took home an extra $5,000 or an extra $10,000? I mean, right now with this whole COVID-19 and the shutdown, what if you took home anything? I don't know about you guys, but I haven't been paid for a long time. So anything sounds good at this point, but what if you took this extra amount home? Would this make 2020 maybe a little bit different and make your final numbers at the end of this whole COVID experience different? You know, will it get you closer to your baseline maybe by the end of the year? Help close that financial gap. I hope you guys, if you wanted the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program loan, I hope if you wanted that, you got it. I know there's a lot of nuances to that. If you didn't get it, maybe this is a way that you can make that up. And, you know, keep in mind, you guys need a paycheck too. So maybe this is helpful for you guys. I really think this is going to make a huge difference for me and in my practice. One thing I love though, biggest priority, patients. It's great for them. They love it. It saves them a trip. My employees, I had no idea how much they were going to like this thing. Now, there's hiccups. Any technology, you know how this goes. There's hiccups. But this is probably one of the least bumpy rides that I've had. Now, in the very beginning, you know, Mo, Raphael, being frank, it was rough, man. It was like, there's a lot of bugs. But these guys are lucky because we had to work it out. So now you guys don't have to do all that. And it's golden, man. We love it. Let's keep moving forward. Now, this one gets a little complicated. The first thing you want to do is just have them go through the virtual consult app. So they call you up and they're like, hey, I've got this problem. You need to fix it now. You're like, okay. I need your name, I need your phone number, your cell phone number, and your email address. You send them a link, they register for the app, they go through, they fill out their health history form, they look at your financial policy, they look at your HIPAA policy, perhaps they snap a few pictures. They could take pictures of their particular concern. They will and are prompted to take pictures of their insurance cards. So if they have dental insurance, you will have that information in an actual picture of their card, which is going to free up your financial people to really do an adequate financial presentation for them even before they show up. Then you can do a secure HIPAA compliant video chat. It's HIPAA compliant. All of the interactions in the JAVC app are HIPAA compliant. And you can do virtual consult and you can do a little chat and you can find out. And if they're like, hey, I've got this tooth that's been chipped for the last year and a half and another little chip has fallen off and I have no pain, you can set them up appropriately. If they're like, hey, I have a raging toothache, I need you to get this taken care of, you can be like, great, here's what we're likely gonna need to do. You could even give them a rough idea of what their financial out-of-pocket's gonna be. Then they might say something like, well, I'm gonna need to finance this, I can't pay for this out of pocket. You're like, great, let me send you to our website. You can get connected to Care Credit or whatever financial payment tool and financial payment plan tool that you use within your practice. You can send them there before they even come in. So by the time they come in for this new patient emergency exam, you have an idea of what's going on, perhaps with photos. You have their dental insurance. You have a health history form. They've already pre-qualified financially. So you know that you're actually going to get paid for this visit. Another particular scenario that comes up in day-to-day dental practice is your routine hygiene checks. You know what I'm talking about. You're off there doing your full mouth restoration, cutting preps, doing very productive things in your practice. And what happens is you get called out for a hygiene check. So you walk into a hygiene check and my goodness, it's a disaster. Things have changed so much for, Mrs. Smith that you really need to spend some time going over what all the situations are and what their treatment plan is. Or perhaps Mrs. Smith, who you've been talking to about that full arch case or full veneer case, is now ready to proceed and wants to really get into the details. You can say, Mrs. Smith, this is fantastic that you're ready to go, this treatment that we previously discussed. Or Mrs. Smith, there are a lot of things going on and it is going to take some time to really fully digest and treatment plan the different options that are available for you in your situation. What I would like to do is to collect all the data. And at this point, it may be some additional x-rays, it may be models, whatever that may be. And I'd like to set up a virtual consult for you and I to discuss your particular situation and what those treatment options are. And in this way, it will be relaxed. It can be at your house. You don't have to make a special trip in. And you can then go ahead and set up that virtual consult. It allows you to get back to whatever you're doing in your schedule. You've treated this patient above and beyond their expectations, and they don't have to make a special trip in to do that comprehensive treatment planning to finally proceed with the care that you've been recommending for years. Another situation is patient exam. They come in and a particular new patient has a ton of need and they want to proceed. They want to do some real neat comprehensive dentistry. You can do then the same thing. Say, hey, we need to get some data, we need to get some models. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to come up with all the different options that you have, and we're going to set up a special time for you and I to meet over a virtual consult so we can discuss what those options are and come up with a definitive plan that fits you and your needs. And then that allows you to assign data collection to your assistants or to your hygienist or whoever to collect. Maybe it's models, maybe it's scans, maybe it's x-rays, radiographs, whatever that may be. Collect the data, you treatment plan, and now you have a special appointment set aside for that patient, and they're gonna get the time that they need and deserve, and you're gonna find that your case acceptance goes through the roof when you give this kind of personalized attention. And remember, at the end of the consult, at the end of the video talk, they're going to be able to go on and leave a review. They're going to be prompted. The number of reviews that you collect are going to go through the roof. Also keep in mind that every virtual consult that you do does not require you setting up and taking down a room. So on a very practical basis, you will not have to turn over a room for each of these virtual consults. You don't need to take it all up and set it all down and do all the cleaning, and it's required in today's corona world. The average cost of turning over a room varies between $30 and $60, maybe $75, depending on what you're doing. So if it was just say $50 a room to turn it over, and I like easy math, so let's go with that. $50 times 5, maybe 6 consults in any given day, that's like $250 to $300 per day that you're saving because you're not turning that room over. You're not using an assistant. You're not going through supplies, going through disinfectants, and basically taking time away from as productive activities. I have found that in my practice, I am at least 25% more productive doing the exact same thing that I was doing, providing even better customer service, getting greater case acceptance. You cannot go wrong with these virtual consults. Now, I know what you're thinking. Virtual consults are great in this COVID world. People that are afraid to come into your office will love this, but it's only for COVID. It is true that people that are afraid of COVID and afraid of infectious disease will really gravitate towards this, but that's not really who it's for in the end. In the end, this is for anybody that values their time, that doesn't want to travel in for things that they don't need to travel into your office for. It allows them to stay at work, keep earning that dollar so they can spend it at your dental office and get the dentistry that they want and need. So you need to get out of your own head, get out of your own way, get out of your own paradigm, and realize that this tele-dentistry and this app is going to make you more productive. Try it. Use this in one of the ways that I'm suggesting. Just start with that. See how it goes, and then you're going to find your own path. You're going to find the way that makes sense for your office, for your flow, and for your patients. But I guarantee you this will be one of the best decisions that you made and potentially will take your income and increase it substantially. Increase in production by 10%, increase in efficiency by 10% is going to put a substantial amount of money on the table for you in your practice because all of the overhead has been paid. All of the fixed expenses have been paid. The profitability on you increasing your efficiency by 10% is astronomical. We have created and developed this app from the ground up that is designed for the dental industry specifically. I currently have been using this in my practice since right at the beginning of COVID, which is when we went live. It was basically ready for beta testing come the start of COVID, and we just went for it. It's had many iterations and updates and refining to the pretty impressive product that you'll see now. I use this every day in my office, and the way I use it is for consults. My schedule is broken down into surgeries and procedures in the morning and consults in the afternoon. So what I do in the afternoon is have as many virtual consults as possible. We just assume everybody's going to be a virtual consult until they request otherwise. If they request otherwise, we give them the reasons why they would even want to do a virtual consult, because it increases their efficiency, it decreases the amount of time in the office, and they can do this in the comfort of their own office, of their own house, in their own bedroom if they wish. Heck, you don't even have to have your pants on for the consult as long as the camera is just right. I found that I don't have to turn over rooms when I have virtual consults. Most practice management consultants will tell you that the cost of pre-COVID of turning over a room was between $30 to $50. It's probably more now because of COVID, but let's just go with $50 a room to turn this thing over. Not counting the time, materials, and everything. You don't have to turn over a room when you're doing a virtual consult. So if you do 4 virtual consults in any given afternoon out of your total consult schedule or follow-up schedule, you've saved yourself about $200 just in one day. The other thing that I've noticed is that the efficiency of these consults is through the roof. So most people don't want to talk about their cats and their dogs and their last vacation and all this kind of extraneous information that tends to slow down the wheels of a consultation process. They're much more direct and much more to the point, can still establish rapport through this HIPAA compliant and secure video portal, and we have them fill out all of their paperwork before we even do the consult. In addition, from a surgical perspective, particularly with dental implants or wisdom teeth and even jaw surgery, we have informed consent videos as well. that help streamline this process. You know, the bottom line, I guess, with virtual consults is, you know, that people are more focused, right? So they're more focused when they do these consults, way more efficient. You save time and turnover. You don't have to turn over chairs. Efficiency-wise, I am changing my schedule and have changed my schedule, and it still takes a while to propagate that completely through. But basically, I'm going to do 1 more hour of surgery every single clinic day, and I will do the same number of consults in less time. What that allows me to do, if I do 2 extra set of wisdom teeth in that hour, and let's say I collect on average $5,000 for those 2 cases, you do the math on that, you're looking at like over $800,000 increase in collections at any given year with this. So this is literally like $1 million decision that you're making. It will also be very intuitive and easy for your staff. My staff loves this, patients love this, and it really works. It also allows you to collect reviews. So you can, every single patient will be asked at the end of the process what they thought of the process, and to give it a 5-star or a ranking between 1 and 5. If they pick a 4 or 5 stars, they'll be then prompted to go online and to leave an online review. If it's a 3-star or less, then you will be flagged so that you can contact this patient and figure out exactly where things might have gone less ideally than planned, so that you can maximize these reviews. And this allows you to get rid of that application that perhaps you're paying for now, and the software that you're paying for now that collects reviews. And this institutionalizes the review process, taking the number of reviews and pushing them through the roof. You also have a curbside check-in, so people can come, they can text through a secure platform, let you know that they're here. In this COVID world, we're using patients' cars and the parking lot as kind of a virtual waiting room, which just helps with the whole COVID experience, and just to help minimize that, patient flow through the office. So bottom line is this really works. You're going to find it fantastic and worth every single penny. Version that we have now, how would you compare and contrast that between like an in-person consult and a virtual consult, from both like a good and a bad and the ugly?
Yeah, so they're almost the same, I feel, because you have that still the personal connection, because they're right there on the phone, you're talking to each other, so that part's really nice, which I didn't know when we first started talking about this, if you could really connect with them still, because they're virtual, but you still get that contact with them and talk, and so that's nice, and it's just quicker as well, so that I like. The consults are not as long with them being in person, which for keep it on schedule is always good, so that makes it nice that way. So we have enjoyed them. They are good, but yes, they are they're actually really good. You still connect, and you still have good patient care. I guess that's where I was thought it might lack, but it doesn't. Yeah, and it's easy for the staff. It is actually easier than we thought it was going to be.
So from a facility and a stress level,
it's way less stress, because there's not a bunch of patients in the waiting room waiting for the doctor there, and they're stressing out our front staff, which then stresses out our back staff, and so it's just calm. And not that it was bad when they're here, it's just a whole different feeling in the office.
So if somebody was sitting back as the office manager or the surgical manager or the human resource manager and was looking at this going like, man, is this something that we want to do, that we don't want to do? And what should we expect? What kind of advice would you give that person? What would you tell them? Like, okay, this is what you need to think about. This is kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I would definitely do it. Like I said, I was very hesitant about the whole thing at first, because not only do I have to deal with the patient myself that's going back in surgical, so then have to deal with the employees that are stressed out about it. And so I thought, this is going to be very stressful for the employees, which is going to be stressful for me. But it actually is a lot smoother, a lot easier than you and the employees think. So then everybody is pleasantly surprised on how it goes, and they're willing to do it. They're a little scared at first, so I won't sugarcoat it. Not everybody's excited when it first starts, so you kind of have to help jumpstart that. But once they they can be in there and see it, then and try it themselves, and you're in there with them, then it's easy. You can get them past that first one and just see that it's like a normal consult. In fact, it's a little bit easier because they're not just right there in your face. Then it's good to go. But definitely worry about your employees when you first start it, but it's not.
Let's meet Dr. Smith. He is one of the doctors whose 38% of patients are home waiting to be safer before returning to his practice. His revenue is down 40%, and he is getting very worried about the future of his practice. Dr. Smith hopes he could just find a safe way to see his patients and reassure them they will be okay. He also notices that Jet Virtual Consults allows him to completely replace the in-person registration and do it all on the app. His patients can submit their driver's license, images, radiographs, insurance cards, fill out and sign their health history, HIPAA, and financial forms. They can also watch informed consent videos and even sign up for their own appointments if he wants them to do just that. Not only Dr. Smith is blown away by everything Jet Virtual Consults can do, but he realizes that the app also comes with an automated practice assistant that reminds his patients about missing information before their appointments. This relieves his staff from having to do that. His patients simply log into the app and submit the missing information. No need to come to the office in person or even engage staff members over the phone. He realizes that by using Jet Virtual Consults, he can start seeing 38% of the patients that are deferring their dental work due to the pandemic. In addition to this, Dr. Smith is able to see more patients in less time, resulting in a 25% productivity and revenue increase. Dr. Smith understands Jet Virtual Consults is not only helpful during the COVID-19 pandemic, but its entire set of features allows him to be more efficient. The more patients he can see, the more revenue for his practice. He has decided to fully integrate Jet Virtual Consults into his new clinical and business protocols, thus writing the new future of his practice. Whether you are worried about declining patient numbers, want to bring in the patients who are deferring service, want to be more efficient, increase revenue, give your staff a break, or give your patients the ultimate convenience, Jet Virtual Consults means you can stop worrying about decreasing revenue, missing patients, or having to see patients in person. If you are at the office, home, or on vacation, you can meet your patients where they are.
All right, so Jet Virtual Consults, I've already kind of briefly introduced these two guys. They're in the background. You can probably see them in video. Go ahead and wave, guys. How about Mo, you wave first or say hi. He is the technical director. He is the technical director at Vitals Agency. Mo, we've been working together for years now. You have 13 years of experience in developing software and solutions for the healthcare industry, for NYU, Medical Center, Calvary Hospital, the list goes on. Raphael, man, this guy's brilliant. Joined the Vitals team. There he is. A year ago, he started off as a part-time developer, and he's the core, man. He's integral to the team. So thank you, guys. I'm going to turn it over to you to actually take us through a demo. Keep it quick, keep it interesting, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. McCullen. So thank you everyone for taking the time to be here with us today.
Hey, Mo, can I interrupt for just a second? I got a couple questions. Would it be all right if I typed in the answers to these questions while you're doing your demo?
Yeah, 100%. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Is that too much?
Sure.
If it's too much for you guys watching, forgive me. Otherwise, I'm going to answer some questions. Sorry to interrupt. It's all yours.
We'll take it away from here. Thank you. So we came together to create Jet Virtual Consults. It's a special project for a very special time. Who actually benefits from using this particular tele-dentistry technology? Well, patients, staff, doctors, and their practice. We're going to do a quick demo of a patient-doctor interaction for you to see how the app works. Very quickly, Rafael and I are going to basically show you what it would be like for a patient and a doctor to go on a virtual consult and go through the entire patient workflow from a patient's perspective. So, Rafael, take it away.
Thank you, Mo. So let me share screen for 1 second. Okay, awesome. So currently I have the app open right now. So this is the login page. So currently I have a username and a password. So I'm going to log in. And as a patient, I'm redirected to the home page. On the home page, I have user profile, insurance information, health history form, informed consent, and schedule appointment. So as a patient, I'm required to go from a top to bottom approach. So let's click on the user profile. So as a patient, on the top, we have a profile picture. So the patient can add a profile image if they want to. Along with that, they have a couple of name fields, a couple of phone fields, and some questions for radiograph that they can answer. Along with that, we have the insurance information page. So on here, the patient can upload images of their insurance cards. So they can upload the front and backs of their insurance cards. Along with that, we have 2 additional tabs for the patient to upload any more additional insurance information if they need to. Once that's taken care of, they can go into the health history form. So the health history form allows the patient to answer a series of questions. So reason for today's office visit, I'll put down wisdom, teeth removal. Occupation, I'll say developer. Am I in good health? I can enter in my height. I can enter in my weight. And I can answer a couple more questions. I'll leave them blank for now and click next. We have the emergency contact page. So Jane Doe. Enter in a temporary number. The language. If they have any learning variables, learning preferences. So now, do I have any of the following symptoms as a patient? So I can toggle yes or no between any of the following. So I'll select no for all of these. This is part 2. So I once again will select on no for all of them and click next. After that, we have the patient medication summary. So whether or not, if I have any allergies as a patient. So I can select either of the following. I can enter in my preferred pharmacy, the location, the number, the surgeries, and prescriptions. I'll tap next. Is there a family history of any of the following? So I'll put diabetes, and then I'll click on mail. So once, as a patient, you've reached the signature page, you have reached the end of the health history form. So here I can enter in my last and first name. And then submit form. And then just like that, I've just submitted my health history form. So if I go to informed consent, we have a playlist of videos for the patient to watch. So in my case, I want to look at the wisdom teeth playlist. So here I can watch a series of videos that pertains to the wisdom teeth. And then once I'm done, I can click on complete. If not, I can also watch any other procedure playlists. And then lastly, we have the schedule appointments. So if the patient is allowed to select an appointment on their behalf, they can click on schedule appointments, and they will be brought up with a calendar. That calendar allows the patient to select between dates and select an available appointment. So there's an appointment for 9 to 3 with Dr. Amel for today. So as a patient, I will select the appointment and confirm the appointment. Now that I've confirmed the appointment, a notification is sent out, and then the patient is now awaiting their scheduled appointment.
Right. And
So, right? Mm-hmm. I'll let Mo
yeah, and
handle
so
the rest.
basically I am logged on as Dr. Anil just for purposes of this demo. So as you can see that you can either let patients schedule their own appointments, or you can schedule appointments on behalf of your patients through the admin view of the app. So right now I am on the provider view of the app as Dr. Anil. So since John Doe here, in this case Rafael, just scheduled an appointment, a virtual consultation with me as a provider, all I have to do is go on the app, click on the calendar, look at the list of appointments that I have. As you can see, I have 2 today, 1 that I already completed, and another 1 due. So I can just simply tap on the one that I want to do right now, and I get the patient chart. As a provider, I can see the patient chart and link to the health history form in case I want to review it. I can look at the insurance information in case I want to review that as well. Or just simply tap on the blue button right there to start the virtual consultation. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tap the button. Now, right now, it's alerting the patient. So Rafael is going to get a notification letting him know that I'm ready to do the virtual consultation. So he will get a notification via a text message and a phone call.
Mm-hmm. So if I answer the phone call,
Virtual consult. The doctor is ready to see you now. Please open the Jet Virtual Consults app on your phone. Go to Schedule Appointment and tap the Join VC button to join the virtual consultation. Thank you.
so what just played now was an audio recording to let the user know how they can navigate to the app and join the consultation. Along with that, they also have a text message that's also presented in case they can't access their phone. So the text message also reads the same information as the phone call. So if I go back to the app and go to schedule appointments, I can now click on the join VC button, and then I can join the consultation. So hello.
So we are live, and this is pretty much to illustrate the experience.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay, fantastic. So the virtual consultation is now done. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
So as a provider, as soon as the consultation is done, I get a chance to put in my notes. I can approve or not approve or exit. So I can approve for the patient for surgery or not approve. So I'm going to put in my note right now and then approve it. And then on the patient side, what do you see, Rafael?
So on the patient side, once I've completed my appointment, I'm greeted with the consultation completed page. So on here, I get a message saying that the consultation has just ended, and I can either click on the home to navigate to the home page, or I can click on survey to bring up the small questionnaire to give my feedback. So I'll just click on home for now, and then that would reach the end of the consultation.
So I'm gonna go back now to presenting. Let me just grab these. All right.
All right, guys. So I actually have like an emergency patient that I need to go see. This is like real life, man. This is like clinic. And so I thought, if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to leave you with like just a little conclusion. And I think with COVID-19, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of suffering and a lot of difficulties. Man, I know you guys are suffering, and I get your pain, and you can't really, express that because nobody has sympathy for dentists, dental hygienists, and dental team members. They all think, we've got this made. But it's hard, man. I know it's hard for you guys, and particularly if you have yourself or family members that actually have got infected with COVID-19. I can't imagine what you've gone through. We have like an incredible offer here that Mo and Rafael are going to talk about, and I'm going to let them close this out. If you have any questions, email me through the email address that you'll get at the end, and I'd be happy to answer any of those. Guys, you got this covered?
We got it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks,
Yep.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So just to wrap it up, we have prepared a webinar-only offer for you.
Simply download Jet Virtual Consults now by going to jetvirtualconsults.com. Try it absolutely free for 30 days using code JBC30. No credit card required. This is a limited time offer. Get it before it is too late.
All right, so we want to thank you for taking the time. Thank you for doing these, and thank you for just giving us a chance to show you what we have put together. We have, like as Dr. McClellan said, we started these out as a project just for him, and then it grew very, very rapidly due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we saw an opportunity, not only a business opportunity, but an opportunity to help colleagues and to help people and patients and really have a positive impact. So thank you very much for taking the time. We will have a follow-up email that will include a link to the website and also the code that we just gave you. This is a limited time offer, so the code has a time expiration. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email. You can send us an email at jet.virtual.consults@gmail.com. And we will also send you that email address and the email address where you can send your questions to Dr. McClellan as well. So any parting words, Rafael?
So I would just like to thank the team. I would like to thank every member that joined the webinar. And I look forward to hearing back from everyone.
Thank you very much. So I hope you have a great and fantastic day.